I'm doing good. I'm really doing good. I'm loving the lockdown.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
I'm having a blast not having to deal with that many people. It's just perfect. I can tinker with my telescope and my calculators, and yeah, it's cool.
Like
It's like,
every second time that I call Guide, it's like, okay, you're in the bath. Yes, I'm in the bathtub.
Yeah. I just came out of the bath. Just told the ladies I had to dress until before I put on the video.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah.
But at least it's better than doing this in the bathtub. That I could imagine you doing that. So.
Me too. Yeah.
So I think it's like 1:00 now. So I think we will start. So I will want to wish everybody welcome.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and especially you, Guy, for making this group.
Thank you.
Sorry. Renee, did you say something?
Yeah, he
No,
said
no.
thank you.
Yeah. Maybe I will unmute you, Renee.
Pardon me?
I will mute you.
You're just punished. You just got detention.
Sorry. So the topic is procrastination. So I don't know, Guy. I will start with you. Do you have anything like? Do you do that sometimes, or do you have any stories about that?
Oh yeah, I have plenty, and I know what kind of answers you would like, and I know what answers I will provide, and those are possibly in a totally different direction, or
Okay.
actually on the very end of a very, very long poll, because I almost always do procrastination. I procrastinate all my life and have been doing that since I was a baby, and that might be a counter reaction to me being born 7 weeks too early. So I always try to make up for that, just to sort of push things off. And one of the things I did in 1999, I got this idea that I should make a font type, letters, based on the works of Maurice C. Escher, my favorite artist that made, impossible 3D artwork. And he's from the Netherlands, or was. And I was inspired by his work, and I thought I should make a font out of that. Now, I managed to procrastinate that for a solid 20 years. Before I finally did that at the end of last year. But the thing with that is that I pushed it off because it didn't really grab me. It wasn't something that really I didn't feel passionate about doing it until 2019. And when I did, I was so immersed in this and so passionate about making this font. It's on my website, by the way, and you can freely download it and use it as you wish. Now, if I'd done it earlier because of self-discipline, or I have to do it, otherwise I get like bad conscience, or, it's on my to-do list for several years and holy shit, I should get my ass, up on the chair and get my act together and do it. If I did it then, it wouldn't have been so much fun because it didn't actually grab me. So I only do stuff when it grabs me. So I push things off. I don't give a shit. I just, should I read that book? Yeah, maybe later. I'm in the middle of the book. I'm in the middle of 20 books. And until that book grabs me again, I don't do it. I don't care.
So you are a real procrastinator.
Yeah, I'm a passionate procrastinator. I'm a professional procrastinator. I procrastinate everything I don't like to do, and I just move it off until it grabs me. And, I haven't visited my father for a long time, not because I don't love him, he's living far away. But then all of a sudden I got this idea, I should just drive to the northern part of Norway, take my kids with me this summer and just drive for freaking 30 hours to get where he is. And then
He's such a slow driver. You're such a slow driver, man.
Yeah.
You got to speed up. I keep telling you, drive faster. Come on.
Yeah, like Northwood, right? But then it grabbed me, and then it was really passionate. Then I did it. So when I do things, I do it. When I don't do it, I don't do it with a passion. I love procrastination, and if you really like to do something like procrastinate, it will not hurt you. Nothing you like will ever be something problematic for you. I know that's not the answer you want.
No, but I think I just build on that.
it.
I just build on that a little bit because I think it gets back to I have two girls at home, one that's 12 years old and one that's 8. And Lily, who is 8 years old, she does stuff that she loves, and it's just like in kids, kids don't really procrastinate things that they really want to do. They just do a lot of what they really want to do. So it's like, Lily, you have to do homework. Oh, I don't want to do homework. Can we do that later? But other stuff, she is so good at finding stuff that she really wants to do and just wouldn't procrastinate that. Now, a lot of adults, what we find today is they're posting things on Facebook, do more of what you love and find what you love and do more of that. But at the same time, we think that we have this big problem of procrastination. And I think it gets back to what a lot of me and Guy talk about is like we really try to help people find passion in what it doesn't matter what it is. People just have to find passion. And the more passion they have around what they do, the more hopefully then the less of this procrastination will be a problem. Signe Marie?
Yes, I'm listening to you with wow, yeah. It's for me. It was. I am of course familiar with procrastination as well, and I think actually it's more common than we think. I think all of us has something that we procrastinate. So, and for example, for myself, I had a dream about starting for myself in many years. And I worked at the DNVGL in 16 years, but oh, it was so nice to be there. So many good colleagues and so safe. So it was...
But that's, just to interrupt, that's probably because you just did more of what you wanted to do. It was nice to have so many great colleagues around you.
Yes, of course,
Yeah.
it was kind of always waiting, but it's kind of, when should I do it? Should I do it now? No, it's not safe. It's not, and then it's too scary. And so I stayed, and I had a lot of fun at that company. But in 2017, I took the step, and that was circumstances at my work, reorganization, everything changed that made me do that. So I had some help to decide. But now I'm kind of very, very happy in starting my own company and be free. And it was like my dream. So I could have done it many years before.
That's something that's really nice. We can let Guy talk about that, because people are afraid of doing something today that might produce some type of result that we don't like tomorrow. Guy.
So
obviously there is a fear of consequences, and this is the reason why people avoid conflicts, why leaders avoid conflicts. It's because they don't know what the outcome would be. If I talk to the person and tell him to, you have to shape up, you have to actually do your work, or else you will get sacked. If you take that talk with that employee, you don't know what the consequence is. Maybe the person totally fires up. Maybe it starts crying. Maybe it starts screaming at you. What happens? And the problem with being afraid of consequences is that you run away from doing the work that ends up in those consequences, and you never learn how to deal with the consequences. So avoiding the consequences make you horrible at tackling the consequences, because you never get any practice at it. So leaders are terrible at approaching conflicts because they never approach conflicts, they never get training. So the reason why we put things off is because I'm afraid of the consequences. I don't want to deal with that. I put it off to later because maybe I have more data so I can have more safety regarding the consequences. But then you miss out on the training of handling unexpected things. So if you launch yourself into wild situations and just do it just because, oh, it's uncomfortable, but I'll do it anyway, then you get training on how to handle those strange situations, and they never become something you push away. Like getting up on stage and, oh, I'm so afraid, maybe they just don't like it. Well, just do it enough times, and then you become good at it. So launching yourself into uncomfortable situations make you good at handling uncomfortable situations, and then the safety disappears.
I love that advice. What about you, Brendan? You talked about your kids, but do you, about you?
So people around me know that I'm a little bit crazy because I do something called the 100
You're
day
not
projects.
a little bit crazy.
I
You're
do
just
that.
totally freaking batshit crazy.
Can you mute guys, Mike? So I do something called 100 day projects, and I've done these for the last 9 years, and it's everything from 100 days of running 10 kilometers a day. It's 100 days of being at the local cafe from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock every morning for 100 days. 100 days of vegan, 100 days of keto, 100 days of sleeping before 9 o'clock, 100 days of just like of crazy things, just like I do. Like at the moment, it was 100 days of jumping rope, like skipping rope. And it was so much fun. So I thought, well, that was fun. So I'll just do it again. So I started at day one and started doing it again. But the point here is that about half a year ago, I was in this workshop and Guy was there that night. And there was a woman that raised her hand and asked this question, Brendan, why do you put yourself through all of these bad challenges? Like, why don't do nice challenges? And I was stumped by this question. I was like, what? And she said, yeah, why so uncomfortable challenges? Why can't you do nice challenges? And I thought, like, how do I answer that question? Like, are these uncomfortable challenges that I'm doing? I never even thought about it. And it was Guy that actually raised his hand and said, I think what's happening in Brendan is that the more challenges he does, the easier every challenge gets. And I think that the more that people actually just do something, like just do whatever, just do something and then get this learning, that they train this muscle of just doing more stuff. And again, back to this, they're less afraid of the consequences of it. I have no idea what the consequences of running for 100 days or jumping rope for 100 days, but I think it's a really nice thing that I've just built up over 9 years, that I can do 100 days of whatever. It's no big deal anymore. But some people I'd say, hey, do you want to do some skipping rope, or do you want to go running for 100 days? Are you crazy? 100 days? I'm only joking. I meant 30 days. Like.
And I think you are into a very, very important part of this topic, because I think it's all about self-programming. And I think that's the worst thing with those who are really good at procrastination, is that it's self-sabotaging, and they are programming their mind to really learn not to succeed. So they feel they want something and decide, tomorrow I will do it. And then tomorrow comes, they feel some kind of uncomfort and they skip away. And then they feel, I'm glad I skipped away. But that lasts very short time. That little kind of comfort, this dopamine, I didn't do it today. And then they start judging themselves. And a lot of, I am hopeless, I am so bad, I'll never do it. And then they promise themselves to do it tomorrow. And then we have the full loop.
I can say about 9 years ago when I started these 100-day challenges. First, I would not call myself disciplined. Like some people say, wow, you got such discipline. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, that's one of the last adjectives I would describe myself. But I'm curious. I'm definitely curious. And what I'm curious is of what would happen if I ran 10 kilometers every day for 100 days? What would happen if I do 45 minutes of jumping rope every day for 100 days? What would happen if my kids on day one say, Papa, we don't like broccoli? What would happen if they ate broccoli for 42 days in a row? What would happen? Like, I don't know. I tell them, I don't know. I've never done it before, but let's find out what would happen. You guys are going to get 42 days with broccoli every single day. And on day one, it's like, Papa, we hate broccoli. I know. Let's go. Eat it up. Day 2, Papa, we hate broccoli. I know. I'll eat it up. And then day 42, yay, broccoli. Woo! I was like, wow, that's crazy that happened. So it's like, we just got to do that. We think we know ourselves, but we have to find something, do these small things, and then see what's going to happen.
Yes, so, and exactly what you are doing is the opposite programming. Small kind of things you just decide on, and then, yes, I did it. And then you program your brain for succeed and set yourself up for success instead. So I now when I work as a coach much of the time, I see this topic come up again and again and again. And it's kind of the overwhelm with something, and then they procrastinate it. and feel bad about themselves instead of breaking it up in small pieces and do small things every day, and then they program themselves for success. Do you
I'll
agree?
tell, I'll give something real practical tip for anybody that's going to watch this. And this is that I never do 100-day projects where I think I'm going to do 100 days. I only ever do one day. So I do day one, and I go and I stand outside and I just do jumping rope for 45 minutes. And I get a marker, like a marker pen, and just put one stroke on my hand. Yes, okay, I did day one. Day two, that permanent marker from day one is still there. And I look outside and it's pouring rain, just like it was like an hour ago. It was pouring rain. It was like, fuck, I have to get another stroke in my hand. I got it. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. And I just go out and I do it. I don't really like to do it, but I just do it. I have to get that stroke in my hand. And after you get enough strokes in your hand, it's like, you just keep going.
Yes.
And it's like, just don't never think that you're going to do 100 days in a row. Just think you're going to do one day.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things on this because I think it was 3 or 4 days ago. Niklas, my oldest son, he is 21 years old, and he is in charge of our e-sport initiative in Brendan and my company. And he said, "Your dad, I've got an epiphany." He said, how to get this uncomfortable situations out of my life is very easy. I just do cold showers every day. So he goes in and turns on only the cold water, and he goes in and takes a cold shower. And he says that's the easiest way to kill the notion that there is something uncomfortable, because it's never dangerous. A cold shower is never dangerous. It can't hurt you. It's uncomfortable as hell, but it never hurts you. So you can do it. Everybody can do that for 100 days. Just do that.
What does help?
It helps with killing the idea that I will not approach uncomfortable.
Yeah, okay. So
it gets you to the point where you're sure I can do uncomfortable things. I've done 100 days of cold showers. Of course I can step on stage and do something uncomfortable. Of course I can sit here and speak English because it's uncomfortable. I can do anything if I first can do 100 days of freaking cold shower. That's one thing. And the other thing is that the best way to learn how to fail is to start juggling. And this you learned from Brendan, that if you start juggling, there is a 100% chance that you will fail. You will always fail. Balls will fall on the floor, always. So you learn that you're not perfect. You learn that it's okay. You learn that if you do this enough, you will succeed because you will get better. And the next thing I have on this is that in handling people who are in dire straits in life, I do a lot of work with youth that are trying to, hurt themselves, burn themselves, or kill themselves. And actually the only common denominator I found with all the kids I've been working with is that they put their happiness, they link their happiness to a certain state. If I become a firefighter before I'm 25, I will be happy. If I get that girl, I will be happy. If I get to be that, or if I get that much money, or if I get the gold in the Olympics, I will be happy. And people put happiness related to a state, and it's never related to a state. Has nothing to do with a state. You will be happy for a short while if you get gold in the Olympics, but it will fade very, very quickly. I know that because I coach people who get to Olympic gold, and they are happy for a day or two or maybe 3, but then it's gone. Then the gold is gone. Even that is gone. So happiness is only about motion upwards towards what you think is valuable. It's not what other thinks is valuable, it's what you think is valuable. So no matter how depressed you are, no matter how fucked up you're in life, there is always something you can do today that will improve something in your life a little bit. So just look at what will make me a little bit more happy right now. Walking, maybe. Running 10 kilometers, oh God, no. Skipping rope, oh fuck that. And walking with a dog, cuddling with a dog, helping my grandmother, reading book for the little brother I have. Something. You can do something right now that will make you a little bit more happy. And happiness is related to the vector. If you go up, you will be happy. This is why I won't talk about religion, but I will talk about one thing. Reaching a situation like nirvana is something people will not have. That is happiness for a little while. But if you cannot reach any higher, if there is no adventure, if there is no mountain to climb, if there is no place to go, which is up, you will be unhappy. So take one step, do that little thing. Don't have to do the whole to-do list. You go, oh, if I do the whole to-do list today, I will be happy. No, shit, that's not happiness. The thing is to do something that improves something in your life. It's not a state. It's always a motion. It's a vector.
And it's so important what you say, and that's also a decision for themselves. They have to kind of decide for another way to think. And it's also when they have this goal of, if I just become a millionaire, I will be happy. If they have that thinking and combined with if I make any fail, I am a failure. Then
if you identify yourself with the failures, you become the failure, which is a problem. You should never identify yourself with your actions or the things that you have around you. That makes it, the Buddhists really got that right. So don't identify yourself with stuff.
Exactly, and just realize that failure is part of the game if you are going to grow. And that's have you seen the TED Talk with Carol Dweck on growth mindset?
No.
It's excellent. She talk about just instead of these marks or at the school telling you that, sorry, you failed on the test, they choose to use only two things, yet or not yet. And if it was not really good, it was marked not yet, but it contributed to a growth mindset. Not yet means something else than, sorry, failed.
It's similar to the American football coach who said, I don't have substitutes on my team. I have starters and I have finishers.
So that's good. Yes. And that growth mindset is kind of, they had some schools that was really from the lower level that really beat the Microsoft kids, kind of. It is really interesting TED Talk.
Yeah, I've done a similar thing. I wrote a book, one-page book that's called #Fail. It's about the benefits of failing, and not because you're going to learn from failing. That's not the point. The point is to learn how to fail and learn to fail. Because if you know how to fail, really have failed a million times, failing 1,000,001 times will not hurt you. So the thing about failing is to be so relaxed about failing that you are more likely to win. I've done this with Olympic athletes, and learning to make a freaking fool out of yourself or ending up in the 62nd place. Petter Northug was actually great at doing that when he was active, because either he won or he became number 62, and he knew how to fail. So he was relaxed about every game, because I can fail, I can win, that's okay, And so that #fail, I can put that out in the group as well, because I didn't think of that before now. But failure is important. Failure is not only a part of the game, it's an intrinsic benefit to the game.
Yes.
Brendan?
I think I'm going to bring in something, because something practical here for anybody who watches this. And it's something that during the Corona situation, me and Ivan and Guy, I think we had about over 30 webinars in the space of a couple of weeks. It was really crazy. It was such great fun. And one of the exercises that we did in that is something that I should mention right now, because there's some things that we just shouldn't procrastinate any further. Guy, you probably remember which exercise this is. And it's anybody who watches this, everybody's thinking that one day soon I'm going to lift up the phone and I'm going to call my mother, or I'm going to call my father, I'm going to call my brother, I'm going to call my sister, I'm going to tell them I love them, I'm going to tell them they're the best person in the whole world. And one day that's going to be too late. You're going to be too late for somebody. So and that's like the world's easiest thing to do, to actually just delay doing that. I think I'll get to that soon. And we're also good at saying I'll get to that soon, especially when it comes to telling the people around us how much they mean to us. So the challenge in this is to actually take this, the actual day that anybody watches this, and do not procrastinate on that any further. Lift up the phone, and you actually start by saying the following. I saw this crazy webinar of these people talking about procrastination, and they challenged me to lift up the phone and to call you brother, sister, mom, papa, uncle, aunt, whatever, and to tell them what you mean for me. and then you go totally 100% all in on everything that they mean for you, and do that, and then see what happens. Do that 100 days in a row and see what happens.
Not to the same person, or you could, but do that at least once, and put in the comment field on the Facebook group what happened, because I know so many people who said, I wish I'd done that before my mother died, or my father died, or even my kid died. So I wished I really told them that I love them and how much they mean for me. So don't delay that until it's too late. You might not be as lucky as I was, because my mother died in my arms, so I got the chance to say that while she was dying, which was a great thing. Now, don't delay, because it will be too late one day.
I've also got another thing. If anybody wants to have fun with the idea of procrastination, here's what you can do. So if you have a partner, you sit with your partner on the sofa tonight, and one of you just find something like, what we should do? We should actually wash some clothes. So then you get pen and paper and you make a list, a to-do list. And at the top of the to-do list, it says, get pen and paper to make a list about washing clothes. And you put a little checkbox beside it. And then you have the next line, and it says, think about putting on a wash. And then the next one, it says, think about actually going upstairs, getting the clothes and bringing them down to the washing machine. And then the next box you have, turn to the partner and laugh about that. And you can put all of these things without even getting off the sofa. You can get like 25 things done. It's totally, totally amazing. For people that like checking off checklists, it's just totally a wild thing to do. And you can sit there and laugh. And even if you got some clothes and you put them in front of the machine, at least you had a bit of fun at procrastinating anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a true believer in doing what you do really well. So if you want to procrastinate, I mean, skip the bad conscience part, because you don't need that. But if you feel like procrastinating, go all in and procrastinate. I mean, like really procrastinate, because sitting there and procrastinating while hating yourself, that's the most stupid thing you can do. Either you procrastinate and are happy with that, or you do something and are happy with that.
Signe Maria?
Yeah, it's something with the definition of procrastination, that is delaying something that is important for you, or that you have decided to do. And with that definition, if it's delaying something that you have decided to do, it's a problem when what you have decided to do is really important. So I think the most important thing we can do is to identify what is the most important for us in life.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I was a teenager, trying to get me to procrastinate, trying to check up a girl, it just didn't happen. It was just like, I love doing that. I'm going to try doing that. But if somebody said, no, Brandon, you got to procrastinate that, I said, why? I love doing this. Why should I do that? So it gets back to this, like, really find out what you really love doing. And if you feel that you're procrastinating on something, you don't want to do it enough, and that's totally fine. That's like it's a really nice thing to find out. That book wasn't that important, or that relationship wasn't that important, and that's probably okay.
And then some people actually are not fluid enough when it comes to this. They have this idea, I should do this, and they stick with it for years and years and years and procrastinate without actually taking up, is this still important to me? Because you should not be a slave to your own prior decisions. So if you think it was important to become a firefighter, but no longer think it's important to be a firefighter, it's fine. It's okay to give up the goal and find something else. It's perfectly fine. So maybe it's not important enough for you. Maybe you just put it off because it was actually no longer important. Maybe it's right to push it off just because it wouldn't help you to do it anymore.
That's true. So, and a very good book on that is the Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of, what is it? 7 Habits of Efficient People.
Highly efficient people.
Yeah.
Highly efficient people. Which
Effective.
is really it's an old book,
Effective.
but so relevant still. I love it.
Another thing is I sort of see life as the board game. Guide and myself, we're like these big board game geeks. I don't know if you're in the board game world yet, but you definitely should be. Just start using a lot of money on board games. And
it could be a not yet.
I see life as a board game. I really see life as a board game, and I think that that once we get to the end of life, everybody, like 99% of people is there just before they die. They're saying, no, I get it now. Do more of what we love. Okay, I got it. Let me play the board game again. And life says, fuck you, get out of here. And then it's darkness forever, for eternity. That's it. You never get to see the board game again. And I think that's like, the sooner you come to that realization in life, then that for me is sort of like this success, this definition of success, to realize that this is it. This is it, and nobody's coming to save you. Absolutely nobody. Everybody's concerned with themselves. Nobody's going to do anything for you. And if you want to do something, find out what you really like to do. Do it with people that you really like to do it with. Share a lot of love, share a lot of compassion, and then procrastination won't be a big problem. But this idea of just waiting until the very end and saying like, no, I get it. I get how to play the board game now. That's too late.
Okay.
Me?
I don't know if I actually have anything to add on that. I think, I love to do what I love to do. And sometimes that goes in waves. Sometimes I make a lot of music and then that doesn't grab me anymore. Then I write books, then that doesn't grab me anymore. I program, then that sort of fades away. I tinker with my telescope and then that's gone. But yeah, here's the telescope, by the way. Here's the telescope.
No, no. That you could have
And behind here
procrastinated
is the calculators, and it's so much stuff that I can do that I never feel like there is procrastination, because it's okay not to do stuff as well. And I realized that it's okay to not have the to-do list. And nowadays I'm actually thinking about another subject that touches on this, whether one should have goals at all.
That can be another webinar. We do that another week.
Yeah. Whether it's actually helpful to have goals. And this is something I'm talking with Tiri Lekhoff, the biathlon girl that I'm coaching. We're talking about, is it valuable to actually have goals? Because I can just give you this.
That's another webinar. Save that one. That's a good story.
Okay, I'll save that.
We will do that.
So,
But we should also mention that because people that are going to be watching this, they're going to see, what the heck were those guys doing? They didn't let the other guy, Vinay, they didn't let him speak. What the heck's going on?
Okay, I'll say something. I'm at a point, I'm pretty old, I'm retired, and I got not too many things. I got just few things I want to do, and I'm just doing them at my own pace, and I don't have to procrastinate because I'm doing what I like doing.
that's
So-
Exactly.
Perfect.
So I think the best solution is get to that position when you don't have any problems. I mean, I like what Geir said, you just do what you want to do whenever you want to do, and you're in the best position you're in. That's all I have to add.
It's beautiful. Perfect.
very good.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, I think we're sort of winding down, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. It was really great.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool. And I suppose we can do more of this. I mean, many more of this, because I have lots of ideas now coming up through what we've talked about now.
And I already think you brought up one topic, then we can start with maybe next week.
Perfect.
Definitely.
Nice to meet you today.
Nice to meet you guys. This was great. This was great fun. And, the more we do this, the smoother it becomes, the more, the cooler it becomes. Yeah, this is just a matter of doing it enough.
And for everybody who's listening or have something to add, I think we all invite you to join us for the panel, right? If you have something
Anybody can join the panel.
Yeah.
And when we put it out on the group, everybody can just join in and comment, and we'll be attentive and answer the comments. If you have any questions, we can answer the questions.
Yeah, so I invite everybody now to do that. And I invite also everybody to pick up the phone and call somebody they love, and then write about it in the comments what happened. Perfect.
Perfect.
Thanks, everybody. This was nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for arranging this. This was really good.
Thank you very much.
Vinay, great to see you. Great to meet you. Thanks.
Yes. Good.
Great to see you again.
Have a nice evening.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.